Hey everyone, it's CT Daya and this is UCT. We have two guests with us today. We have my mom.
Hey everyone, I'm Linnell.
And we have with us our mentor, Joe.
Hello guys, how are you today?
So yeah, we're just going to get right into everything. First, let's talk about what did you guys do this weekend, our little weekend recap.
Well, we've been quarantining since Christmas Day, so I did not much at all. We did go visit a loved one. It was the anniversary of his passing. It's been 18 years. I did go to Roof Chris with my mom and my sister yesterday. It was very good. I'm not going to say how much I spent there, but it was good. And that's about it. That's been my weekend, low key. Quarantine and COVID. Rona got all the power right now.
Well, my weekend was all I do is work. I really that's pretty much all I do. So I went to work, went back to work, and went to work. I actually really do enjoy working. There's nothing for me to do besides watch shows and work.
I'm down. Oh yeah, shows now that you mention it. So I did start watching Chicago Med. So I'm really into that. I was up till 4:00 in the morning. I'm trying to finish Godfather of Harlem season 2.
You like it, right? Season 2. What are you at towards the end of season 2?
I think I am because we're up to when the guy doesn't want to marry her. She just found out. So she walked in like she's broken.
We should not spoil. Hello, excuse me. We can't spoil it because what if people are listening and haven't watched?
Well, not spoiling, but you guys probably shouldn't be watching it anyway. So.
And I'm trying to finish Insecure. That's my goal for this weekend. So I got the rest of the day.
Oh, girl, you should have been caught up with Insecure, watching it as it went.
Oh, but this is Pod New Haven. I'm sorry to you.
This weekend, all I did was quarantine because, as sis did get positive results for me having COVID. I had no symptoms. I'm fine. Literally just stayed in my room isolated. I've been in quarantine since Christmas, like my mom said. I was just literally just going to work and coming home. That's it. I did get it from my job, but it's fine because, like I said, I have no symptoms. So I'm good. I just did not like being in my room. It was just boring. No family, no friends.
It's kind of dangerous that you didn't have any symptoms because, if it wasn't for, just your mom saying, let's get tested, you probably would have never known that you had COVID. Yeah, so that's pretty much what's going on is that continuous cycle of being asymptomatic and no one knowing.
Okay, so you know how we do our spotlight of the week. My spotlight of the week is Betty White. If you guys don't know who Betty White is, you're living underneath a rock. I'm being honest. Because sis is known. Well, if you don't know who she is, Betty White was one of the members and cast of Golden Girls. She would have been 100 coming up, actually. She died on New Year's Eve. And a lot of people, I see a lot of posts of people saying, why? They said that she really was ready, was happy to be 100. She was only 99. But yeah, shout out to Betty White and her family. Betty White was a role model. A lot of people did love her. She would have made it to 100. So let's give it up for Betty White. So our hot topics for today is we're talking about literally Sidney Poitier. He was an African-American actress and, RIP to him as well. Do you guys have anything to say about him? Because I don't really know.
So, it's Sidney Poitier. And Joe probably can speak on it better because is he French?
No, he's not from France. I don't think that was his real last name. I think that was his actor's name. But he is an activist, an actor. He was a part of the greatest era that probably has ever been presented. And you know what I don't like? I don't like that all our heroes are like leaving us. Last year was Cicely Tyson, and one like calendar year is Sidney Poitier. And it's like, who are the next people coming up to fill these shoes? Like, this is a huge giant. This is a pillar. Like, this is someone that marched with Martin Luther King. This is someone that paid Coretta Scott King's bills for a year. Like, we don't know this, like the behind the scenes stuff like that. Like, he took care of Rosa Parks till she died. Like, these are the great things that like men like this. We don't have men like this anymore. Like, just a humanitarian, just, you know, they walk this earth for a reason. And it's sad when they leave, but they have contributed so much to our history. Like that era with the, you know, Martin Luther King, you were just talking about the Godfather, Harlem and Godfather. Like, no one knew that who Malcolm X was affiliated with. Like, no one knew that Malcolm X was affiliated with a gangster, and that was one of his friends. Like, the path that these people walked is just like, it's just amazing just to get a glimpse of their story. Like, I'm sad that they're like leaving us. Like, Cicely Tyson leaving us last year was like big. And look at her life.
So they have posted a picture. It was Sidney Poitier. They posted a picture, and it was Sidney Poitier with Cicely Tyson, and Tyler Perry, and he had wrote it, you know, about them, and it was awesome. But my question is always, what is the next generation? Is the next generation embracing that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who are you teaching underneath you that we could be like, okay, Cicely left this person, or this is someone, because you have to take the initiative as a young person or a young actress or actor to be like, you know what, this is my role model. I want to follow those same steps. And who is doing that? I totally agree with you.
I think Tyler Perry was doing that, because I know that picture, and Tyler Perry was just like, he was on a plane with them and he just wanted to soak in so much of their knowledge. But there's not a lot of Tyler Perrys, and Tyler Perry's like one of the reasons why Cicely Tyson was still working. Like, and if Sidney Poitier wanted to work, I'm sure that Tyler Perry would have did something just for them. But we don't celebrate our the people before us anymore. Like, we don't keep them around just for knowledge and jewels and just to sit underneath them and soak in it. I know Oprah used to do it too. Oprah used to have all the giants around her and just soak it up. But you're right, this generation, either maybe they're doing it and we're not seeing it, but we need to see it.
Because Sidney Poitier, if people don't know, he did the first interracial role. It's called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And that wasn't heard of. And he did a lot of things that weren't heard of. And I do believe this generation has people that have stepped into the limelight that you haven't heard of. Like the young lady, what's her name? From Blackish. She did that movie.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know her name, but I know it starts with a Y.
Yeah, like people like that, you know, making strides, doing things differently but he was a pillar, like.
He was.
Pillar. Wonderful.
He was. He lived a beautiful life. Like, you know how they say when you get to heaven and God's like, you know, you're good and faithful servant, but like us on earth, looking at the timeline and looking at what he has done, like, sir, you have lived your life. And also we were, Dea started this off by talking about Betty White. You know, there's power in words. Betty, they gave us a glimpse of that magazine cover, and she died right before she really did turn 100. And I was like, you know, and she must have been ready because she wasn't ill and she probably died of natural causes. And the thing about Betty was like, we're always anticipating like her death. It's like every time they posted a picture, it was like, wait, is this when she, like, we're always anticipating it. But she has lived a great life too. And to think she was on this earth for 99 years. we just ended slavery, like the March on Montgomery or whatever that thing, the bridge was 60 years ago. So 39 years before that, we were in racism, deep slavery racism. And for her not to have been touched by that, or she was cured of it or whatever, is amazing. Because she has worked with like plenty of people, and no one has ever said that, you know, they have felt any type of way being around her. She's always treated people with respect. So I applaud her life too for just being open-minded and not, you know, falling to the times that she, you know.
Dea, what do you know about them? Like, what are your thoughts on them? Like, what do you know about them?
Well, what I know about Betty White, I know she was in Golden Girls, literally. That's all I know. But I've seen like a few episodes of Golden Girls. So like, you know, there was a post, I don't know if you guys seen it. It's literally all of them. And it said that they're all together in heaven. And I think that's literally one thing that I'm surprised about, is that they're all in heaven together, because they all had led, you know, a show together, and now they're all back together as one from being on a show. And now you're like, oh, like, you know, I know Betty probably was like, you know, I miss all my friends, but now she's with her friends in heaven. Like, I think that's one main thing that's like happy, let me not say happy, surprising about that, because you can't say Betty, you're happy Betty died and be her friends. That's not happy, because, you know, her family, you know, I respect that. But yeah,
a piece with it.
Like a piece with it, yeah. And then about like, I don't really know anything about him. Like when you guys said, I seen his picture, but I didn't really know him like that. Like, you know, I'm not trying to be rude, but I really didn't know anything about him.
No, but that's interesting, because as a youth, you know, not knowing, and he's like a main, like he was like the Tyler Perry, but times 100 for everyone's era.
Yeah, I think he's the only Black actor that has won a Tony. He's definitely the first Black African American that has won a Oscar, but I think he has all.
I don't know if you saw, oh my goodness, who was it? I was watching the news, and they were saying how the same year that Sidney Poitier had got the Oscar, because he didn't get the Oscars until like, was it the 90s or 2000s or something like that? It was like a long period of time. And it was also the same year that Denzel Washington, or they honored, I think they honored Sidney Poitier, and then Denzel got the Oscar. It was something, one of those years. And I guess he jokingly was like, they honor me the same year they give it to you. And they laughed about it. But that's someone like Denzel is like not a replica, but someone that was under him that took the ranks of that. Like to me, from my era, he's the Sidney Poitier for my, you know, upcoming. Like for you, Daya, who would be yours? Like as far as actors?
That's a good question, because I really don't know, because a lot of shows as a kid, like a lot of my actors, like they don't act no more. Like Miley Cyrus, she doesn't act no more. She's a singer. And then like, you know,
I'm not gonna go away to be like.
I have a quick question, Daya. I have a quick question. Do you know how impactful Denzel was? Denzel Washington has been to the acting world?
Not really. I mean, I know he plays I know he been in a lot of like African American movies. Actually, Fences. I heard that he got an Oscar for that. I forgot what title it was, but I know like they said he was a big role in that one. And I actually like that movie, Fences, because I learned a lot in it. Like reading the book and seeing the movie, it did teach me stuff. Like I did learn like the way, you know, it did leave something with me from that and from watching him do that. And I feel like that was the best role that they picked him for that. So, I mean, I've seen a couple of his movies.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to know because it's very important. So in order for you to pick someone that is like important in this time for you, you have to know your history. So you have to know a little bit about what Denzel meant to the culture for you to pick someone to say they kind of filled his shoes. So in your era, I think it would be, God forgive me,